Our last speaker did a great job about telling you about the Coastal Act and a good big picture of it. I'm going to focus on a small part of it, which are private citizen suits. Like many of our environmental statutes, they have provisions in them that allow people to bring lawsuits instead of the government bringing them. They're private causes of action. The beauty of the Coastal Act is its simplicity, though. And if I can, I think in the next few minutes here, I'm going to be able to show you how simple it is to bring a lawsuit under this act. And then we're going to talk, after I do a bit of an overview, about a specific lawsuit I have against the city of San Francisco. The Coastal Commission was established by a voter initiative in 1972, Proposition 20, and later made permanent by the legislature through the adoption of the California Coastal Act of 1976. And if you go to the Coastal Commission's website, they have a mission statement. It says to protect, conserve, restore, and enhance environmental and human-based resources of the California coast and ocean for environmentally sustainable and prudent use by current and future generations. And I can tell you, out of all the regulatory agencies in the state, this may be the most powerful one that I've seen in terms of what they can do. And how hard it is to develop something in a coastal area. Back to the website of the Coastal Commission. The Coastal Commission, in partnership with coastal cities and counties, plans and regulates the use of land and water in the coastal zone. Generally, if you're going to do something in the coastal zone, a permit is required. And as we're going to talk about later, this is one of the things that makes this statute so powerful is how broad and scope it is. Coastal zone, this is the definition under the Public Resources Code. Coastal zone means the land and water area of the state of California from the Oregon border to the Mexico border, specified on the maps identified and set forth in Section 17 of that chapter of the statutes of the 1975-76 regular session enacting this division, extending seaward to the state's outer limit of jurisdiction, including all offshore islands, and extending inland generally 1,000 yards from the mean high tide line of the sea. Now, as Jamie pointed out earlier, this isn't, you have to go look at the maps to find out exactly what's within the coastal zone, because it's not entirely consistent, but this is generally how it's done. I find it easier just if I've got a project I'm interested in to call up the local office and talk to somebody, and they'll generally tell you if something's in the coastal zone or not, and they're pretty helpful. So don't be intimidated by trying to find those maps. The most important, or the biggest part of the statute that it makes it so powerful is the definition of development. Development means on land, in, or underwater, the placement or erection of any solid material or structure, discharge, disposal of any dredged material or of any gaseous, liquid, solid, or thermal waste, grading, removing, dredging, mining, or extraction of any materials. And here's a big one, change in the density or intensity of the use of land. I mean, you look at this definition and it's almost anything that you do in the coastal zone. That fence that I took a picture of right there, you just found on the internet, that's a project or a development, and if that didn't have a permit, that would be illegal under the act. When you go to Malibu, you see all these movie stars and record producers buying houses on the coast and trying to block off public access. And you know, as an environmentalist, this is a prime act to try and stop that kind of thing from happening. Either report it to the commission or bring a lawsuit, as I'm going to tell you how to do in a minute. First, make sure they don't have a permit, but that something like that's not gonna. And again, you can go down to the Coastal Commission and figure that out.